Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show. Special guest today is Aaron Angel Baby Perez. Is that correct?
Yes.
Hey, congratulations on your last fight. I know it was a big fight, but you took a little sabbatical there for a couple of years, and talk about your emotions coming into this fight.
Um, it was awesome because the boxing thing is all I've done all my life. So I took a couple years lay off, and just to get back into the mix of things, it felt good. It's back to what I do best.
You know, let's talk about your first 16 years. I mean, talk about one, the excitement and enthusiasm. And I didn't realize you fought for 16 years, so just kind of backtrack that a little bit.
Yeah, just I was a youngster. I didn't have no responsibilities, so I would just go to school, and then get out of school, do a little bit of homework, and then go to the gym. So I had my pops would just keep moving me. Hey, we have fights for you or whatever. So he'd put me in the fights. Some of these were like tournaments, so they were advancing fights. So I'd basically start by wiping out the state, then I advance to region, take over region, and then fight in nationals. So I was really busy for those years. I was really busy, and I think that's where I got most of my experience and my comfort from was in the amateur program for those 16 years as an amateur.
Well, a lot of that comes from your dad, and also your uncle. I mean, at that time you were basically working with your dad and your uncle,
Hmm.
and I remember your uncle coming in and Jordan coming in and your dad coming in actually into this building. We were downstairs
Hmm.
and really talked about they really wanted to make boxing at a different level. And sure
Yeah,
enough, that's been like almost 10 years ago. And
right already.
legacy boxing has really made a name for itself.
Yeah, they
And part of
just
that is you and your brothers also
yeah.
making a name for yourself too.
Yeah, so during all those years, they just they keep watching us and seeing us grow, and a lot of times it's other people that have more faith in us than we do in ourselves. So just like listening to everybody, hey, you're really good. Hey, stay in it, and you'll do great things. You're gonna sharpen up real nice or whatever. So they had it's a lot of them having that faith in us too, to go through and do the promotions and try to make the next jump into the boxing um, promotion stuff. So they just believed in us that we would do good and things like that.
Well, what was fun, you were coming up the ranks, but they were also learning about promotions. I mean, and watching, it seems like over the years, there's, I guess the platform, they figured the platform out to where now
Yeah.
when you have a fight, it moves a lot smoother.
Yeah, it's a lot of trial and error too. So they learn us, and then they just got to learn us and how we fight and move us properly, and yeah, and then just get some other guys in too, some other local talents, and put them in on the cards too, and just make a great night of fights.
Well, here's the thing that, I mean, it's amazing. It's basically over and plus or minus, once you turn pro, it seemed like you had like 3 or 4 fights a year. I mean, it was like every 90 days or 120 days that you would have a fight.
Right. Yeah.
And how did you prepare for that mentally?
Um. It was it was easier to have that much fights a year because the rounds were shorter. So you start your professional career at 4 6 round fights or whatever. You move your way up to 8 round fights, and then 10 round fights, 12 round fights. But each of those take more preparation, as those fights are longer rounds or whatever. So when I started my professional career, I think I started with 3 4 round fights. So it's not too much wear and tear on the body just fighting those 4 round fights. I was able to get in like 3 or 4 of them in a year. But the fights are getting longer rounds, so I'd be happy to squeeze in like two a year to three.
So, with a 4 round fight, you had to come in and basically use more energy in the first. I mean,
Basically.
I mean, and if you're doing a 6, then you use maybe a little bit more strategy of wearing the fighter down.
Yeah.
Would that make sense?
Uh-huh. And then yeah, exactly. So you got to strategize. You got to strategize different and lay out a proper game plan. See, for like 12-round fights, that's a long time to battle, man.
So you definitely have to go in with the strategy and make yourself last those 12 rounds or whatever. But
Yeah, it's just getting in there and getting comfortable. So yeah,
they open up your rounds more, and
you gotta lay out the way your fight's gonna go and stuff like that. So yeah, it's all in strategy.
You've won some titles. So which title have you that was like? I guess each title is a little bit different, but which title really meant more to you?
You know, I don't have anything yet that I'm too proud of. But I always
You're
feel
still
like
striving for that.
yeah, I always feel like I have more to prove. I have more to do. There's bigger
But
things
you
to
won
get.
some tournaments when you were younger that there were titles,
Yeah.
maybe not titles, but events or whatever that
Right.
that stick out in your mind.
Yeah, no, I had a good amateur run, and then especially towards like the middle and the end of my amateur run is when I started to really open up as a fighter and stuff, and that skill level started to set in, and I was able to take it to another level. But yeah, I have there's a lot of amateur tournaments that I did really good in. The one that's talked about most is when I made it to the Olympic trials. I won number 2. So I was able to go to the center and stuff, reside there for a few months, and go with the U.S. team to fight overseas. So that was a good experience too. But I didn't stick with it too long. I had to I just started working and stuff, and I just turned professional, and I couldn't. It was hard to devote too much time away from here. So I just turned professional, stay working from home, and things like that. But yeah, in the amateurs, the one they speak highly about is that Olympic trial run that I made.
I tell you what, we're going to go to the Everguard Roofing Top 10 Plays of the Week, come back and talk more about boxing.
Quiet. Play action pass. Rolls out. They do put in there. Throws. Did he make it? Not sure if he got his feet down. And the call is touchdown. Bass.
Yard gain. Back now, and Estrada sees another opening. Estrada drops it in the bucket for the touchdown. Artesia exploits that one. Looks like that was Ethan Kahn.
First and 10 at the 28. Gomez will roll to his right. That's wide open down the. Looking for Gonzalez in the right corner. Caught, touchdown. Another touchdown for Cesar Gonzalez.
Almost 200 yards in the first half here. This time they give it to Chito Lambrera, and he is shot out of a cannon up the middle of the field. Nobody's going to chase down Chito. He's flaming hot into the end zone. Touchdown, La Cueva.
Handoff once again. Nice. Breaks free. Watch out. Here we go. It's not even a foot race. Bye-bye. And it's going, chilling, doing it, and doing it well. Touchdown. St. Mike's untouched.
Now they're back to their 2 high structure. 2nd and 8. Dyer will pull it out. He has some room on the right side. Do not adjust your television screens. This is not a replay. Touchdown, Cam Dyer. Touchdown, Supplier.
Wins to both sides of the field. Caden Cordova in motion from right to left. Culpepper taking a shot down the field. 1-on-1 coverage down the right side. Caught. Beck in the open, and I don't think anyone's going to catch him. Beck is going to score on a 90-yard touchdown pass from Paxton Culpepper. Culpepper saw Beck in one-on-one coverage down the right side.
Estrada with Galindo in the backfield to give him some support. He will leak out, and Roswell will intercept that ball. Zy Carrasco rushing down the field. Zy Carrasco, touchdown for Carrasco.
My goodness. I saw him track that ball from about the 15-yard line.
Big hole up the middle on the ground here. Oh my goodness, there's nothing but green grass for Sweet Feet Cam Dyer, the touchdown supplier.
Estrada with Galindo in the backfield, trips left, one man to the right. He looks left initially. He's just going to launch this one up. He's looking for the bomb. He's got it. And still going. Did not make the tackle. It's Juan Diego Duran. Duran to the house. Artesia Bulldogs. That's a 91-yard touchdown pass.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
Hey, welcome back to Steve Davis Show. We got Aaron Angel, baby faces. I forgot on that. You've gotten a little older, but Perez. We're going to have some highlights here of your first fight back, and then we're going to talk about your first fight, the preparation for it. Here we go, and just kind of tell me what your emotions are right here as this fight's beginning.
Yeah, just excitement, that first adrenaline rush before you actually get into it is what's going through then. And then, after that it's just, the first blows land and it's the butterflies go away.
You're back to your business.
Exactly. Yep. It's just a matter of feeling that first blow, see what your opponent's really got, and then just going to work. Wanting to see more, maybe an 8-round fight for me or something like that. So, yeah.
Isn't it amazing how many people have opinions on either how good you did or how bad you did?
Yeah, it's crazy, and it's good to hear both. You can't be like one-sided or anything. So, I like to hear all the good, which we've heard a lot of, and then to hear some other people you could have done this better or whatever. Just see both sides of it and be realistic about it and self-critique and see where what I can actually do better and little areas we could do better on and things like that.
How about your butterflies? Do you have little butterflies going in there? I know that I saw you earlier in the fight, and I'm like, you were walking around actually talking like, if it was like you didn't even have a fight.
Yeah, the butterflies are there, but after doing it for so long, man, sometimes you just, they're there, but like you're still talkative and responsive to certain things, and then like, the butterflies get the best of me or whatever. They're there, but we know how to work with them.
Well, you took that 2-year sabbatical, and talk about why you took that. I mean, just and that's I really never got to talk to you. I talked to you on the break about it, but a little bit, but kind of talk why then.
So we're
22, 23 years old at the time.
Right.
Kind of surprised me, surprised everything.
So we had a family business going, an auto body collision, and then during that
Perez
time,
Collision, if anybody.
yes, Perez Collision.
Yeah.
So we had opened up another store, another auto collision center, And it was during that time of that fight we had also tried throwing fights at the same time, opening up the new shop. The new shop, getting a new business running. You're understaffed, you got a lot of work, and most of your time is devoted to getting that business running. So I had a lot of responsibility. There's a life outside of boxing, and that's like a major point where it kind of turned for me. But I didn't realize it, and I wasn't too focused in the gym or whatever. Just trying to get things done, and mainly be at the shop and get it running there. But so after that fight, I just it was just kind of like an eye opener. Like, hey, we need to make sure you could be 100% in or whatever. So I took the time off and had a little bit of time to myself and getting the shop running and stuff like that. But with that time had gone. As time went by, we were able to get the business established and running properly. So I was able to get out of the bays and have a little more time in the gym and stuff like that, and just give more time into the boxing life, But and just make sure that I'm trained properly, that I'm ready to go for these next fights. But it was just getting a new business running was my main stressor.
Well, also, how did it feel, on the sideline? I mean, I guess I wouldn't say sidelines, but I know you really supported your brother, and he started, at that time, going back to you, he started, he turns pro and he started to make a name for himself. Did that have any impact on you of making the decision to come back?
Sort of and kind of. I just know that it's a lonely sport, and when I quit, basically,
He enjoyed it. I mean, you saw something.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, and I actually got to see him fight. Like, now that we both fight, I didn't get to see him fight or he didn't get to see me fight because he was in the locker room or whatever. But during that time off, he was by himself in the gym and stuff, and he didn't really have any teammates. So I know it's a lonely sport, so I just stayed supporting him and just kept checking in with him. Hey, how's the gym going? And you still doing okay? How's sparring's going? You feeling all right? And things like that. So he stayed focused, man. And as lonely as it gets, he kept this motivation. And during that time, my dad started moving him because he had also had a heck of an amateur run too. So he was just the next one in the promotion. So they started moving him up during that time. And I think during those 2 years that I had off, I think they gave him. He had had 7 fights since then, so they kept him relatively busy and upping his competition and things like that. And he's handling everything well. So yeah.
And before we go on break, I'd like to, the big. Why did you decide to come back?
We just started getting fluent at the shop again, and I just had a lot of people, like, during that time I had off, just they just believed in me.
Wanted to see you fight. Well, I was one of those guys too.
Yeah, exactly. I had seen you. You're like, hey, I need to see you back in. You're really good or whatever, and things like that. I heard it from a bunch of people. Like, when are you going to be back in? Everybody wants to see you fight. Don't throw it all away. So basically, I'm coming to my upper 20s, and I'm like, let me get some more done before I just hang it up completely. So age is a factor. I want to, show my best, show the best ability that I have before I make an exit from the sport. So
we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to start off with your interview after you won your fight.
Cool.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Long years away from the ring, how good did it feel to be back inside here?
I felt good, man. I feel like I'm at home in here, so I'm glad to be back home and perform in front of my hometown. This crowd is great, so yeah, thank you guys.
You had a lot of setbacks at time that you were out, a couple of injuries. How'd you rate your performance tonight? How the injuries feel? How the hands feel?
Everything felt good, bro. This sport, far from perfect, but perfect is where I'm trying to head. So work on improvement.
Now you got that belt around your waist. You've been gone for 2 years. How quickly would you like to be back in here defending your title?
As soon as I can. Try not to take too much time off. Enjoy the holidays and get back to work.
Ladies and gentlemen, your new New Mexico lightweight champion, Angel Baby Aaron Perez.
Well, how did you feel? I mean, were you relieved at that point, and you're looking for your next fight?
Yeah, no, I felt good. We didn't take too much damage in there, so we came out clean. We looked sharp, so I felt good. But still looking for improvement.
Well, you win that fight, and you said something earlier in the program about boxing being lonely, but you got some good supporters behind you that keeps you focused while you are training and ready to get for the next fight. Speak on their behalf a little bit.
Yeah, so it's a lonely sport, man. You gotta miss holidays or miss birthday parties or whatever. You gotta be in the gym and be grinding and stuff like that. And so it gets lonely, but it's more, what pushes is what helps us push through is the amount of people that believe in us. So we just have a lot of people, a good support system out there of, people, friends, family that just support us and believe in us. And it just gives us the spark and motivation. Like, we inspire a lot of people. A lot of people want to see us make the best of what we're doing. So, that's helped us push through. Is more of the people that believed in us. Things like that, parents, family, friends.
Till, speak on your dad. How does it feel to, one, work with your dad every day?
Yeah.
Then have to, and he trains you too.
Yeah, so, I see him every day. We work together, and then the gym together. He's my coach, my dad, and my boss at work. So, he sees me every day, and, he believes in me a lot. So, whatever he sees during, what I'm doing during my days or whatever, he believes that I can be a world champion. So, he's one of the major one of the main ones who keeps pushing me, keeps me in the gym and things like that. And he's trying to get me to the next level. So something he believes in I could do.
But the biggest thing he does, I think, he's your father. I mean, and your friend. I mean, I watch y'all. I mean, and he has a way of, one, he knows how to motivate you, and you respect how, you're very respectful of what he's done for you. And so it's really fun for me. But the one I'm really is your mom. Speak on your mom.
Yeah, my mom, she's behind the scenes too, but she's all there, man, and just giving us all the support and just as there for us as, our coaches. She's there for our best interest. So, things too, if she sees us slacking in certain areas, she'll be like, hey, you're starting to lose focus or whatever. I mean, it's dangerous out here, and the sooner you could get refocused, the better. So mom's been an important role too. I don't live with her anymore, but it's like I always have her there, just looking for my best interests.
Well, I tell you, when I've talked to her, you could just, she has two great sons boxing, and it's fun to see her light up when you talk about, when I say something about you two guys, and most of the time it's good when I talk about you. So
yeah, it hadn't been an easy road for her too. She deals with the butterflies and the emotions and things like that also. So she gets through it, and
but she works behind the scenes awfully hard.
She does, and then lately she's been seeing me and my brother work, sparring or whatever, and her confidence in us goes up. She's like, no, my boys got it. They're gonna be okay. So yeah, she's been able to see for herself, and it's actually given her closure and kind of a peace of mind too. Like she's not so worried because she knows she's seen what we can do. So yeah, that's the story on mom's end.
I'll tell you. So hey, it's you get a win, and in March or April somewhere there, that's the next fight. So what are you gonna go through to get to that, to where you're peaking at the right time?
So we want to get in another fight for sure to just see if my performance on this last one was a dud or not. So we're trying to see get in another fight or so, and see where we stand, and then try to get some big fights in there. Try to maybe work down a division. I fought this one at 135, so I'd like to compete at 135, but for good fights, I'll drop to 130. It's hard, but I'll make that drop.
Well, I've seen you do it. I've always, and that's your brother gave me a lecture on basically on dropping weight and water weight and in your brain and all those things. You got to be very careful.
Yeah, you got to be very disciplined and focused, and not get distracted by any of the sweets or whatever is out there. Just staying focused and consistent.
Well, Aaron, Perez, thanks for coming on the Steve Davis Show, and good luck to your next fight.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.